Hey everyone, welcome to Local Guides Kitchen. My name is Adrian. I'm a level 8 local guide based here in Manchester, but originally from Malaysia. I'm super thrilled to have you here for the final, not the absolute, but the final live stream for this series called Local Guides Kitchen running on golocopodcast. It is a tremendous series that we've been running for the past 6 weeks. And I'm actually kind of glad it's ending because just like swamped with all the work that needs to be done for this, but I'm also just needing to lose some weight from all the eating. So, super glad to have you here on a final live stream. If you're new to the Local Guides program, this is a great opportunity to find out more about what it is all about. And also, hopefully, you get to meet some fantastic local guides who will be on the live chat. So, let's check out who are there at the moment. So, we have Adam from Australia, we have Jan from Belgium, we have Nyai from Indonesia, Kashif from Pakistan. We got Traveler G. Hey, Traveler G, welcome. Just want a quick shout out because Traveler G wrote his first recipe post on a food and drinks board on Local Guides Connect. He normally writes about everything else but food and drinks, and I don't know what happened to convince him, but he wrote a post on food and drinks, teaching us how to make banana fritters, the Kerala style, if I remember correctly. So super glad to have you here, Traveler G. Uncle Robert is here too. Hey, Uncle Robert. I know, sorry, Uncle Robert is a friend of mine from A-level days, so super thrilled to have you here. Absolutely surprised as well. Thanks very much for joining in. I'm just kind of blushing at the moment. Sorry, that was a big surprise. So thank you so much. So we have tons of people there in the live chat. Do introduce yourself. If you're a local guide, you can also mention your level and where you're from. And yeah, just have a chat there with all the local guides out there and get to know each other. And today, this I don't think there's a lot of housekeeping today because it is kind of like the final episode. But just some disclaimers. I do not work for Google. I am just a local guide like everybody else, and I happen to like cooking, and I happen to like eating a lot. My cooking level is increasing. Let's put it this way. It used to be pretty basic, but now it's getting better because of Local Guides Kitchen. And also, finally, it's like, yeah, if you really like this program, if you like the Go Local podcast channel, do like and subscribe. Your like obviously makes it a great positive feedback for me that you're enjoying the programs and series that we're doing here. And if you want to keep in touch with all the stuff that we keep releasing, do subscribe to the channel as well. Okay, so I think that's all the housekeeping done for today. It is a final live stream. I also have a target for today actually, and all my previous live stream kind of lasted more than an hour. Today I'm going to try to reach exactly an hour, and the reason for that is because immediately after this live stream, an hour from now, we have another live stream happening on Facebook and YouTube that is related to Accessible Life. So this is being run by Hermes, Jane, Ricardo, Jesse, Kashif. I hope I got everybody in there. And they're doing a presentation, a Q&A session about Accessible Life, which is a new project that Hermes is spearheading. It is a fantastic, fantastic project, and it's very much related to local guides and also Google Maps and Google Earth. So do watch that presentation. If anybody in the live chat have the link to that live stream, please, if you could just help and just post that link into the live chat as well so people can get to there. Iwade is here as well, and Fast from London's here. So hi, Irina. Right, so I need to get on with this because we're going to try to finish this, and we have a mini party at the end of this cooking bit as well. So it's going to be really fun. I got some exciting stuff for all of you. Just be aware that towards the end of the cooking period, I'm going to be posting the link to the Google Meet call. So if you want to join in to the Meet call and be on live on YouTube, you can click on that link and join in. But again, just be careful of your audio and your video. We are family friendly here, and just watch what you're saying and showing. Okay, if you do obviously anything bad, we'll just like kick you out. Okay, so that's all I have for the beginning. I'm super thrilled to welcome my final and super awesome guest. And I know you all know this already because we had this little thing going on yesterday. But please give a big round of applause for my awesome guest. It's Denise from USA. Hey! She is like that too. So welcome, Denise. How are you doing?
I am doing great.
Yay!
Yay!
Um, I always remember you from the very first, what was it, the introduction meeting that we had at Connect Live, and you had a beautiful, I don't know what you call it, a dress, a gown.
I had a very Southern Belle dress.
Hmm.
In fact, we should have had a picture of it.
You should be wearing it.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. No, we had to wear a costume, and I'm going, how do you do a costume in the United States? So I decided to do regional, and I did a Southern Belle dress from the 1800s.
Yes, and it was like stunning. And you were
Well, thank
just
you.
like full of energy and bouncing everywhere and taking photos. It was just amazing. You are a level 10 local guide,
I am a level 10, and
and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
so I am very fortunate. I have retired. So I am in my retirement. We bought a what they call in the United States a recreational vehicle, and what that is it's a it you could get them in motorhomes or in trailers, but you use them to travel around the country. And so we literally sold everything we owned. We don't own nothing except for this recreational vehicle, and we spend a month in different places. And that is exactly how I reached level 10. I started local guides when we left, and I have documented our travels for the last 5 years.
That is amazing. Um, Also, I wrote it down somewhere. I can't remember where I wrote it down. Your Google Maps profile is amazing. You've done 1,339 reviews, 12,694 photos, 27,360 answers, 475 edits. You fact checked 213 bits of information, and you've published 34 lists. That is amazing. So well done, you.
So lists are actually one of my staples.
Hmm.
So what I do is like right now we're in Key West, Florida, and before I arrived, I was reading all these articles of things you need to do. So I created a list of everything I needed to do so that when I'm physically in the area, I can bring up Google Maps and it will have the little dots of every place I should be going.
Yes. And then you publish that list, and again, it's not just helping yourself, but you're helping the wider community of whoever that's interested in the list that you've made as well, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. And when I travel, one of the things that we also use is like we're on the highways, rest areas, and they're very hard to find. But I found a
Right.
website that lists them. So I have a list by highway. So, like for I 10, where are all the rest areas? So that once again, when we're traveling, I know exactly where all the rest areas are.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Is there a favorite list that you like to do, like restaurants or just RV friendly places, or how does it work?
I would say my favorite thing to do is when I come to an area, once again, is to add the locals,
Hmm.
the stuff, so that that way when I'm in an area or I want to go to a restaurant and I go, rather than having to do searching, I can just look at my list.
Right, and go to it straight away.
That's right.
Yeah, fantastic. And what is the amazing dish that you have for us today that is apparently very simple, but I'm still struggling with it? So,
So the recipe that we I recommended today is my grandmother's macaroni and cheese. And the reason why this was an interesting recipe for you is one, it only has four ingredients. That's it, just four. But one of the things I've learned with working with you, there is a difference between a recipe that's taught and when you just read the recipe.
yes.
Um, so the four ingredients, you almost have to sort of like making biscuits. Is it too moist? Do you need to add more flour? Do you need to add more water? How do you know when it's done?
Yeah. I had a
So
lot of, Just a kind of slight disclaimer. I did make an earlier batch because this is like I've never made this dish before, macaroni and cheese, and I know lots of people have, and it's a simple dish, but to me, it's like rather than seeing the amazing dish that we'll get at the end, I'm looking at it and going like doing like a risk assessment. Where can it all go wrong? So I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, how do you know like when it's cooked? How much water do you add to it, and stuff like that. It's just it boggles my mind. So, but yeah,
And and I'm very fortunate that my mother tried to make it from the recipe that her mother gave her, and my mother discovered she wasn't making it right. It just didn't taste the same. So my mother had to go to my grandmother's house and
right.
watch her make it to figure it out. And I have very fortunately been watching my mother um, and figured out how to make it as well. And now my children can actually replicate it as well.
And today I have you watching me making this, and I'll learn it the right way. So, so what are the four ingredients that go into your dish?
So the four ingredients are pasta, cheese, evaporated milk, and eggs. Now, the quantities that you want to do these in is
Yeah,
like the pasta. You want to do it 150 grams of pasta, or a little bit less than a half a pound, about five and a half ounces. Now, one of the things Adrian is going to do is he's going to make a third of the original recipe, which makes a very large container.
yes. Um,
And
yeah.
so that's one of the things to consider.
And one thing that I
So
found
he's
out
going to,
really weird here is that these are elbow macaronis or elbow corn. I
yes,
don't know what you call it. It
it,
was really difficult for me to find it for some weird reason. The one that I could find, and this was after my third try, as in my third store that I went to, I finally got a macaroni pasta, but this is the straight type. And it's only in my fourth shopping visit did I manage to get the correct shape one. So it's crazy, I know.
and the real goal, the traditional is the elbow macaroni, but you can
Yes.
use shells, you can use ziti, you can use penne. It's all about having tube pasta that liquid can go through it.
Right. Okay. Because you want to retain the liquid in the tube, I
Yes,
presume. Right. And I
right.
the cheese that I've used here is mild cheddar. So
Yes.
they originally came in blocks like this. This is a small block. I could get double the size or maybe I think triple. I don't know. But this is a mild cheddar. It's oh sorry, this one's not a mild one. This is it's a medium. But I've got a mild one which I've already cut up into cubes, which is here. But you could also use cream cheese, right? It's not in
You
your
can
original
add that.
recipe. Yeah, it's not in your
That
original
is a
recipe.
variation. There's a
Yes.
number of variations that we'll talk about that you can do that I've
Yep.
seen. So the cheese, you can, cheese you can buy in either block or shredded.
Hmm.
And my grandmother originally used cut cheese because shredded
Right.
cheese was so much more work.
Yes.
So my grandmother cut it, and it has a different taste if you use block versus shredded.
Yeah. I didn't ask this question, but is that the right size, or do you
Yeah,
have it bigger? Okay.
no, no, that's about the perfect size.
Right. Okay.
Now, it's also interesting you're using yellow cheese,
Oh
and
wait,
yellow
there's a difference.
the white cheese. The white cheese you're using white cheese. Is that white cheese?
Well, it's yellowish. It's just that I got a really bad glare here, so yeah. It's a
Well, there's different colors.
yes,
It,
there are, but I think these are the normal. I don't know. I assume they're the normal ones. I have no idea.
it all tastes the same. Doesn't matter the color. I'm just giving you a hard time. Somebody
And
has to push you a little bit.
yes, that's true. And we're also using evaporated milk, which is different from a normal milk, isn't
That
it?
is
So
correct. And the evaporated milk, and I was telling Adrian about this earlier, is I believe because this is a very old recipe from my grandmother, milk in the can was easier to have in your pantry and availability back in the 30s.
hmm
So that was why the recipe uses evaporated milk. And anytime you see recipes that use evaporated milk, it's an older recipe
yep.
as well.
I just realized something. I'm gonna go and boil the water because I'm gonna do the pasta. So I'm gonna get the water boiling, and we'll be ready to start cooking as well.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about the recipe then.
Yep.
So while he's getting that water boiling,
I'm gonna also preheat the oven to what was the temperature on your recipe?
go 350, go to in the middle. So when you're baking this recipe, a lot of times as people use this recipe, I know we used it in every single family event that we had. So of course you always have to make other stuff for this big dinner. So and other dishes in your meal may need 325, they may need 375. So the macaroni and cheese can be cooked at any of these ranges,
Hmm.
but it's all about understanding when it's done. That goes back to whether Adrian could figure out whether it was done or not,
Yeah. I think the thing
because
that
it's about a
I wasn't
consistency.
sure about exactly is the what kind of texture am I aiming for? Am I aiming for a very liquidy texture to begin with, and then it's going to end up drier later on? That's the bit that just always just catches me off guard. So,
Right, right, right. So going back to thoughts about the dish, we
mhm,
were talking a little bit about variants. So Adrian showed you the cream cheese. What's interesting is many of you have probably had cream cheese in a box. I'm not cream cheese, macaroni cheese in a box. And when you have macaroni and cheese in a box, it's usually a very saucy cheese, as opposed to this macaroni and cheese, which is very solid. And in fact, you'll also see recipes for what they call bechamel sauce. I think that's how you pronounce it.
mhm. I think
But
I know
it's
what
a
you're talking
cheese
about. Yeah.
sauce. It's a cheese sauce, and that is what you when you're talking to chefs. That's the fancy way to make pasta is to make this bechamel sauce,
Right.
which
Okay.
is a creamy cheese sauce. So that's where I think Adrian was having a problem when he baked my family's macaroni and cheese. It wasn't what you would what's actually known out there as macaroni and cheese.
Mhm. Yes, it is. It is quite different. It's definitely a variety, a variant I've not come across before. And also, I don't eat a lot of macaroni and cheese. I've seen other people eat it, so yeah. Um, so we got some questions here from the audience in the live chat.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
just
looking
going
now.
through. Yeah. Falguni is asking if you can make it without eggs.
Ah. So if you're doing a cheese sauce, the answer is absolutely. But this is more of a egg custard dish. Um, so therefore, it's harder to make it without the eggs. But if you wanted to do the other type of macaroni and cheese, it does not use eggs. And so you ask, can you also make it without cheese? Well, that's a little tougher. Um, but I have learned how to make macaroni and cheese without macaroni.
Wait, how? What do you use as a replacement?
And I actually have the recipe and it works, is I use cottage cheese as the substitute for macaroni.
Oh, okay.
And so, and I did this because I went on a low carb diet. So here is
Wait, I'll switch
a,
over to there.
there we go. Let's see if I can get it. So this is a low carb macaroni or elbow. So if you've ever gone on to a low carb recipe, you can find this on Amazon. But another option is the cottage cheese. So I have learned to do it without the pasta. I've learned to do it with low carb pasta.
Mhm.
Um, but I've never done it without the cheese or the
Right. Okay.
eggs.
All the eggs. Yeah. I guess there's certain dishes that's just kind of hard to avoid those kind of ingredients, isn't it? Um,
Well,
well,
people
we
said the
we
same
there's
thing when
a
I tried to take out the macaroni.
yeah. Irina from London. She's mentioned that she makes a vegan version of macaroni and cheese with nutritional yeast, a bit of truffle oil adds a nice touch of flavor as well.
Hmm.
Um, so what would the yeast replace? Does that replace the macaroni? No, wait. Sure, I'm sure she can eat macaroni. It's a cheese then that she can.
I
I don't
think
know.
it's all about flavor because yeast
Right.
has a
Okay.
flavor to it.
Right. Okay. Well, those in the live chat, if you have your own version or your own recipe or way of doing macaroni and cheese, it's always interesting to just kind of let us know what you put in yours or stuff like that. Because I think Denise mentioned as well, it's like you go to different families and every family has their own way of cooking it. And either they might be changing the quantities or they're changing the ingredients itself. So it seems to be a very versatile dish that hopefully you can't, oh, I can't screw it up too much. So.
Well, that's right. That's right. And so I think there's lots of ways to do. In fact, what's interesting when I was doing some research on macaroni and cheese,
Mhm.
one of the things that I discovered inside the United States is that it's become such a traditional dish
Yep.
that that there's quite a bit of negotiation within the family on who actually gets to make it, because some people do it right, some
Yeah.
people do it wrong, they do it differently.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to ask me to make this. So, or any other dish, to be honest. It's like,
Oh, I don't think so. Adrian,
I
you're
don't know.
doing a great job. You've had a lot of practice now on making macaroni and cheese.
I hope so. Well, the pasta is still boiling. I'll take another 4 minutes or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Um, but for the other ingredients, I know you put yours in the actual tray itself and you mix it all together. But I'm gonna
Yes,
put into a mixing bowl here. So if I remember correctly, add the cheese in,
yes,
and then the milk. It doesn't
add
matter
your
with the
milk.
order, right? It doesn't matter with the order that goes. So it's evaporated milk. And what else do I need to put in here? The eggs.
Your eggs.
Do I wait for after the pasta or I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The only thing you have to worry about is your pasta is going to be hot, so it's going to
Yeah.
melt the cheese.
Okay.
Um, and you don't want to, but you also don't want to necessarily cook your eggs either.
Right. Okay. So I'll maybe I'll leave the eggs till later. Um, because I then add the pasta in, and then once it's slightly cooled, I can add the eggs in. And I'm
Yeah,
supposed to add pasta water as well, right? To kind of just top it up a bit.
right. So that was one of the things that we learned when my mother watched my grandmother is she did not rinse the pasta.
Yep.
What she did was is she put the pasta in and then she would add some of the pasta water, because the starch that comes out of the pasta into the water is part of the thickening agent.
Hmm.
So not only do you use the eggs to thicken it, but you also use the pasta water as a
Right.
thickening
Okay.
agent.
Peter Williams from the UK, he's saying that his mom used to make macaroni dessert like macaroni cheese, using vanilla custard instead.
Oh,
So it's a sweet version. There's no cheese in it. It's just macaroni and vanilla custard.
well, I could
That's
see that because this produces a custard. In fact, my grandmother used to call this macaroni pie.
right. Okay. That's gonna take a while.
That's
So
okay.
while
So
we're doing that, yeah. What else can you tell us about macaroni and cheese or your local guides program or your activities or just about your RV life and things like that?
so let's start with a little bit about the macaroni. So when you put your macaroni mixture into the pan, one
Yep.
of the things that you can do is there's lots of variations you can do. So we talked about cream cheese. So if you chop up the cream cheese, you can dot the cream cheese that you want to put it in and then sort of poke it down into the sauce.
Right. Okay.
So that way you have it evenly distributed. Another thing you can do is put meat. If you're eating meat, you can take sausage, um, hot dogs. You can take all kinds of various items and sprinkle it on the top, and then push it in
Yep.
and make different varieties. In fact, one you could make half one flavor and half another.
So
So, David, yeah, go ahead.
sorry. So today we're gonna try the crazy stuff. Because the mold that I have, we can do like half of something and half of another type, I guess. And the one that I made pre-show because it took me about 40 minutes to bake it in the oven. and 15 minutes to just let it cool down. So I made a batch earlier, and that batch is exactly to your grandmother's recipe. So we have that to try out later. But for this batch, we're just going to go a little bit crazy and show you what we can do in terms of mixing it up a little bit.
Right, right. And because it's also solid, it as a kid, I used to also like to give it to my children because they could hold it in their little hands, and eat
I thought
it.
there could be like a substitute for Lego bricks.
Yeah, right, 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 right. But I used to eat it for, well, I don't used to, I still do. I eat it for breakfast. I eat it for lunch. I eat it for dinner. I
Do
eat it
you
as a
do you
side
ever
dish.
heat them up again, or do you just if it's fresh you have it hot, or you leave it cold and you just always have it cold? Do you ever heat it up again, or that's not a
So,
thing that you do?
so I eat it cold. But the other thing, I heat it in the microwave. But when I heat it in the microwave, I add a little milk. So you don't,
Ah,
ideally, if you have
right.
leftover evaporated milk, I use that. But you can use milk. But I find that if you heat it in the microwave, it dries out.
Yes.
So I put a little milk in it, then microwave it, and then that way it reconstitutes it and keeps it moist while it's microwaving.
And if you ever
So
have
that
vanilla custard, you can try that too. Okay, I think
custard.
I think the pasta's kind of there because it doesn't need to be fully cooked, isn't it? Because it does the rest of the cooking in the oven.
I was going to bring that up. You always want to cook your pasta either to the lowest amount of time or a little bit less because it is going to continue to cook in the oven.
Yes. So I'm gonna go and quickly drain this, and then I'll leave you to entertain the guests.
Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile.
So tell us a little bit about your RV life then, because that's really interesting. I mean, you're in Key West at the moment. That's amazing.
Yes, we are in Key West, and I had never been here before. And if you're not familiar with where Key West is, Florida is sort of goes right into the Caribbean, sort of. And there's a chain of islands that come down and around, and we're actually only 90 miles north of Cuba, and we are actually farther south than the Bahamas. And if you've ever heard of Jimmy Buffett or island music, this is where a lot of all of that began. Jimmy Buffett began in the Keys. So we are living island life. It's like being able to take our home and get it to Hawaii, but we can drive it here.
And Key West is famous for its lime as well, isn't it? That's kind of how I always hear it. Key West limes.
So I
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. Sorry. Yeah.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Oh, we're getting the tour. We're getting the tour.
2 second view of what the keys look like.
Right. Okay. I'll put you on full screen. So, and it's 9 o'clock there, thereabouts, half nine at the moment. Wow.
Yes, it is 9:30,
Look at that.
and this is what my home looks like. Okay, let's get back to cooking.
That's fantastic. Thank you for showing us that. We're all super jealous now.
No,
We should do like a travel segment and we'll come and join you on your RV.
there you go.
So, what do I do? Oh, so I add the pasta into the bowl of everything else and then just give it a good swirl, stir.
Make yourself big again,
Oh, okay.
Adrian.
There you go. Okay, and then the eggs. The eggs goes in.
Yes.
Oh,
Now, eggs, you want to put them in whole and then lightly, where you just want to break up the yolk.
yeah.
Because
Let me
the
just.
final dish, you want to have like little pockets of yellow and white after it's baked.
Yeah. But this is just a preference, I presume, or
I'm assuming, well, of course, it's a preference. And I'm just giving you the traditional, the way my grandmother made it. She didn't overbeat the eggs.
okay. And we've got
You
five
might
eggs that
prefer,
go in here.
yes. And the eggs make it very custard like. Um, so it is an eggy cheese dish. So have eggs.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the live chat as well. Erna's loving your gigantic RV.
So Erna and I are going to meet up with each other in a couple of weeks.
Oh, fantastic.
We are heading to Michigan for the month of May and June.
Right. Adam is also saying that there's a beautiful butterfly farm in the Key West.
Yes, and I have that on my my must go visit list, but we didn't make it this trip, but we're coming back.
Right. Okay. Well, it's a beautiful place, so it'll be a sin to not go back.
All right, so let's look at the consistency. So are you
Okay.
pretty watery there?
Let me just change the view again, and then we can see. So, ooh, can you see that?
It's funny. It's funny how you look into it like it makes me look a little closer. That's crazy.
So I'm just kind of breaking up the yolk and just
Yes.
kind of stirring it in, but slowly. Um,
So you do need it watery, more watery than that.
yeah. Okay. So I got to pass the water from before, and I'll just kind of pour some in,
That's good right there.
and making a mess everywhere, but it's okay.
That's right, Erna. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna have to. I'll have to organize an official meetup, and you and I will be the only ones that show up. I'm afraid,
Okay.
but that's okay.
So I'm actually gonna start pouring it into the mold now, and then if I need to add water, I'll add water there, I think, because
Okay,
I am
let's
kind
do
of
it.
making a mess everywhere.
What recipe doesn't make a mess? That just makes it more fun, a little more exciting.
For the kids, perhaps. For the person doing the cooking has to like do all the washing up. Okay, so I'm using a cake mold. I know it sounds weird, but it's a mold. It just you can put whatever you want in it. So we got a cake mold in here, and I'm just gonna quickly pour that in. Ooh, dear Lord, I'm. Ooh, this is very gloopy. Is that not the right word to use?
It's a good word, gloopy. I like gloopy.
I
I
know
think
I
gloopy's a
described
good word.
Peter's Parkin as cardboard-like, and he's never like forgiven me for that.
Well, you describe macaroni and cheese as Lego bricks. I'm all in.
Lego's all the rage. I mean, like, oh wait, I can show it to you. Um, Lego Man's down here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so
All
okay,
right,
so
so now you
the
let
good
me
news
look
is
at the
that
consistency.
there's space above the oh Jesus, sorry. The space above the thingy majig for me to top it up with a little bit more water if I need to.
And see, that's good. I see lots of good. That's a great consistency, Adrian.
Okay.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So wait, I do not need to add any more liquidy to it.
No.
Okay, awesome.
So now's your opportunity if you want to add other ingredients.
Right.
So, like if you wanted to add the hot dogs or if you wanted to add cream cheese. Now,
Okay, so I do have some sliced hot dogs or frankfurters or whatever they're called. So ta-da! These are
Ta-da!
jalapeno thingy-majigs. So they got some jalapeno pieces in there. And you think that I should do a half and half, isn't it? So one side with the hot dogs and one side with the cream cheese. Yes?
That would be a good idea.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of do that. I do not know how I'm gonna mix it in on this side.
All right, so take a fork, put it. All right, so just take a fork and push them in.
Right, okay.
It's not hard. How about that? And they disappear immediately.
Kinda. They keep floating to the top.
Wow.
And I actually don't need a lot, I think, because
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you need. Just
yeah,
tasters in there.
okay, yeah, that's true. It's not meant to be the main ingredient in it. Okay, so
Mm-mm.
that's done.
It all right,
And then we need the cream cheese.
and then you could take cream cheese and just take little dollops. You have the
Okay,
soft cream cheese, right?
I do, yes. So I
So
have
you
the
could
Philadelphia cream cheese here, and just gonna add that in. So I'm not sure how to do this. Sorry, it's not coming off the spoon.
you know what? It's your dish. Use your fingers.
I can't because
Try
I need to operate the keyboard and all that stuff. So
okay,
is
now
it
try to use
too?
smaller dollops.
Oh, okay.
Smaller
Sorry,
dollops.
sorry.
Well, it's gonna be cream cheesier. It's gonna be fine. And then that's enough. And then
Okay.
push that down in there just like you did the hot dogs.
Oh, crikey! I need another spoon for this. I'm seriously dripping the pasta thingamajigs. I don't know if you call it pasta sauce, pasta eggy thing. This is dripping everywhere at the moment.
What do we call that sauce? I would just call it macaroni and cheese liquid.
Yeah, the gloopy stuff is
The
glooping
goopy
everywhere.
stuff. That's right. That's right. That looks fabulous, Adrian.
Okay.
I'm coming to
Stay
your place for
down.
lunch.
Okay, we'll get
Don't
there.
don't worry about it.
Yep.
It's got to be good. Now
Okay,
it's ready for the
so
oven.
yep, I'm gonna pop it in, and we're gonna do 40 minutes thereabouts. It's hot. Eek. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the live stream, sorry, switch cameras again. It is about that time where I will give you the link to join us in the Google Meet call. So if you want to join in, please do. If you don't want to, that's okay as well. You can stay on in the YouTube live stream and watch us there. Um, let's go to 40 minutes.
You know what's scary is I think I have music going in my head.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that was yesterday's.
That's right. Don't don't
So we had
don't
the
don't.
state
Don't.
challenge quiz yesterday. I was a very happy guest host. Denise was hosting the state challenge quiz, and it was for Maryland. And I found out a lot of fascinating information about that state. What was some of the crazy laws that we came across while researching for Maryland?
Let's see. Well, you can't eat while swimming in the ocean,
Yes,
but that kind of makes sense.
yeah, but you could pee and poop. Well, technically no, but no,
You
it was
legally can pee and
yeah,
poop.
yeah.
Let's see. I don't have the thing up.
You cannot
Uh,
buy a female bartender drinks.
and I think you can't eat ice cream on Sunday, or is that another state? I think the premium.
America has a lot of crazy laws in there, so
Oh, you can't have chickens in your hotel room.
that is yeah, that's another one. I was so intending to bring a chicken to a hotel room, but obviously that's not possible right now. So okay, I'm just gonna pop the link into the Google Meet call. Oh, before we go into that, sorry, I wanted to show the live chat, the viewers out there, the Google post that you wrote. So we're gonna switch over to that, and we're gonna try to do a little bit more of that before we actually go into the final segment of this. Um,
You also want to show the final product too.
oh, exactly, and do a tasting for it. So let me just see. So this is your post, and Again, it's like I'll put a link into the video description once this is all over. But it's a fantastic post. I love the picture. It is so homely and family-like. It's fantastic. It is not as gray and apocalyptic like my dish.
Well, the thing to notice is that the fine china, that was actually a Christmas dinner.
Okay. What was the dish that you were serving it with?
I think it was some kind of green beans
Right. Okay.
that again baked.
Right. Because you would have macaroni cheese with a portion of greens. Is that the common thing? It could
You
be
can have
anything, I
it in
guess.
with it,
Right.
anything, anything.
But yeah, you can find the ingredients and the instructions on how to make it here. And again, this is Denise's grandmother's recipe. It is different, which will show it to you soon. Um, I actually have a video. While I prepare that, I'll show you a video that I did. It's a little bit long, it's about 5 minutes long. So just bear with me as I show this video.
Hey everyone, this is Adrian here, obviously. So I'm kind of doing a filming for this weekend's Local Guides Kitchen show. And obviously the theme is going to be America. And I'm going to try to find some places where I can get some American food. I can't think of any places like specifically American, but there are a lot of places in Manchester City Centre that sells American food. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I've got my San Francisco hat. I've got my lumberjack checkered shirt. So I got the lumberjack look all tagged down. So I'm going to be as American as possible. And you're like, oh my God, totally. Anyways, not to be demeaning or anything, but anyway, so here I am. I'm going to try to find some American food and dishes for you. And we're going to go and support some local businesses. So catch you soon. So the very first stop that I'm going to bring you to is called Black Sheep Coffee. So this is kind of like my go-to place for comfort food. It's not exactly American, but they do have a lot of American goodies in there. So it's basically a cafe. They serve really, really awesome coffees. And what I'm going to go and get in there is actually a waffle. And it's a peanut butter and jelly waffle. So it's very specifically American to me. And I'm just going to show you what it's all about. So there you have it. That's the waffles from Black Sheep Coffee. And it is absolutely divine. Strangely enough, it's obviously advertised as Norwegian waffles, but it's got peanut butter and jam. It's totally American to me, so really, really digging this. It is absolutely wonderful, so do give it a go. It's got tons and tons of peanut butter in there. Really, if you need a sugar rush, this is the one to go for. So we are back in Manchester Arndale, but it is not the Five Guys that I'm bringing you to. Instead, we'll be heading back into the markets, which is down there, and it is to Dunkin' Burgers. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Dunkin' Burgers. So here I am. I've actually ordered the OG single patty. I'm trying to keep the waist as small as possible, so keeping it simple. So I just received my Dunkin' Burger. It comes in 2 bags. The first one's to keep the food warm, obviously. And there inside is the actual burger itself, so it looks amazing. I've gone again for the single patty, so it looks a little bit smaller than what you see in the picture. But that's pretty much okay for me because I have a lot to eat today. So super excited with that. And that's Dunkin' Burgers. So if you want to get your burger fix, there's a lot of styles to choose from over there, including vegan burgers. So do head on to Manchester Arndale for a whole lot of awesome American burgers. So here I am at Moose Cafe. It is another stop in Manchester Centre where you can get really, really awesome North American food. So they do American style, they do Canadian style in there, and you want to go there for the breakfast because they serve amazing pancakes and waffles. Just around the corner from Moose Cafe is another American Canadian style diner called Brewski. I've actually been here with a few local guys. Say hi to Peter and Christine, and I hope you really enjoyed and had fond memories of this place. It is amazing. The food there is great. It's American style, Canadian style. You can get poutine there. You can get pancakes, waffles, and the serving size is absolutely huge. And if you're wondering what's in my hand at the moment, yep, it's a Dunkin' Burger. I finally found time to take it out and have a bite. It tastes absolutely amazing. Check it out. Look at that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little snippet of American food right here in Manchester City Centre. Just a bit of a summary. You can get amazing waffles, peanut butter jam waffles at Black Sheep Coffee. And if you head down to Manchester Arndale to Dunkin' Burgers, you get your fix for hamburgers. And if you want some American and Canadian style food, head on to Moose Cafe or to Brewski Bar here. And just another fun fact, they also started doing a new branding in here called American Pies. They're operating on site at Brewski here, and they claim to be the first Manchester Chicago style deep dish pizzeria. So I've never known about it. I was reading up about it on Google Maps, and there you have it. So if you want to get your pizza fix here as well, you can get it at American Pies, which is operating off Brewski. And again, don't forget that in 4 days' time, April 12th, everything's going to open up and it's going to get really busy. So go ahead and support all your local businesses. Get food from them, dine in if you're possible. Obviously, you need to book and make reservations because it's going to get really, really busy. So that's my little share for Local Guys Kitchen. Hope you enjoy it. See you then. Bye.
Wow, I sure can talk a lot. Kinda. I was wondering, like, when would that video end? Anyway, we're a little bit tight on time. We got 13 minutes to go, and just want to show you this is the batch that I made earlier. So as long as I don't drop it,
Yeah, don't do that.
it's actually quite heavy.
Yes.
You could exercise with this. But this is exactly, well, as close as possible to your grandmother's recipe. I did not add anything to it. I may have added too much water because compared to the one we just put in, I did add a little bit more water because I thought that was needed. And I also added
Well,
more grated cheese on it at the top. So
well, let's look at it.
yeah,
That's the end goal is. What does it look like now?
okay. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun,
I feel like I should like
dun.
stick the local guide flag into it. Okay, so oh wait, what I'll do is I'll pop it out onto a dish. It'll be easier to see what does it look like then. So I'm just gonna flip this, and hopefully it'll pop out. Okay, it has. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you. It looks like a block of cheese. Cheese
Uh,
within cheese. But yes, I think yes because I use the mold, it kind of looks very blocky.
but
Um,
it looks beautiful. You might have been more. A lot of things are based on the oven temperature. We might find that the one we just did was not enough. I think that's beautiful. That's
I'm
the
just gonna
prettiest mac and cheese.
I'm gonna take a photo of it because I need this for the connect post later on. And put my little flag in there.
That's stunning.
Okay. Sorry, folks. This is what local guides do. They take photos of the food, even on cooking, even on cooking shows. Okay, so let's dig into this.
Yeah, like cut
Um,
into that.
this is the bit where I'm kind of scared because it really shows whether I did it right or not. So
Now, is that hot or cold?
it's warm. So it
So
was
just so
like
you
done an hour before the show started.
so one important thing to do is you must let it settle. See, that is perfect.
Oh, okay.
The question is it moist?
It is. So I don't know whether you can
Then I
see, but there's like it's still like quite not gravy like, but it's got moist in it. I don't know what you call it, but yes.
well, I think
It,
you have finally nailed it.
oops, it is dripping with I don't know dripping with what, but it's dripping with something.
Well, it does get greasy from the cheese. There's so much cheese
Greasy.
in it.
Is so the oil is oily-ish. Does it come from the cheese?
Yes, it comes
Ah,
from the
okay.
cheese.
Well, there you have it. So I just kind of wanted to show it to you. Let me just put it there. A side view. So that's kind of how it looks like.
Yes, that's perfect.
And it does have a very custard-like, um, excuse the description, break-like consistency to it. Okay, let's give it a go.
Now I'm jealous. Now I'm jealous.
Okay, very immediate difference or taste comparison. The very first batch I did, which was like 2 days ago, kind of like trying to figure out the recipe, is so different from this one. This one, I think that one was, I think you could call it overcooked or too dry or too whatever, but it was much drier. And Denise said to me, she thinks I should add an extra egg to it. So I did add an extra egg to this one. And also because I topped it up with more water, it is so much like, it's like day and night difference between this one and the previous one that I made. So this is like, wow, okay.
So maybe we didn't have enough water in the one you just put in the oven. If it was significantly higher.
Don't say that. Is it too late?
Probably not. If you want to add more water, it hasn't been in there that long.
Yeah,
Get
true.
it out, save it.
But how do you add the water and then?
Well, it depends on whether don't worry about it. Just don't
Yeah,
cook it as long.
just cook it.
That's
Yeah,
what you got to do. Cook it less.
true. Yeah, because I cooked this one a bit longer than the first batch because it wasn't browning enough because obviously there's so much water on top. It wasn't browning.
Right.
So that one I just need to cook less, which is great.
Yes.
And in a sense, most of the ingredients are already cooked, so it doesn't
That's right.
matter whether you cook it longer or shorter. Fantastic. So
Now
what
you
I'm gonna do? Sorry.
Oh no, I was about to say it's all about now the cooking. So go ahead. Let's keep going.
Okay.
You only have 8 minutes.
I don't think. Well, we do have a little bit longer. It's just that I do want people to jump over to. Oh, I can't remember what keycards. Nope, wrong one. Okay, so I'm posting the link to the Google Meet call. If you want to join in for post-party celebrations, do click on the link and I'll add you in. But in the meantime, I am just going to change the view slightly to here. Oops, or maybe not. I'll change it to this for now because I need to do some tweaking in the background. And obviously there's a delay in the live stream slightly, so it'll take a while for the folks to see us. Alternate F4 Faz. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm gonna turn this one on. Jan's coming in. Hello, Jan.
Hi.
Welcome to the the final closing party of Local Guides Kitchen. The funny thing is that Jan is not a foodie. He's a self-proclaimed not foodie. And so it's a tremendous pleasure to have him come support Local Guides Kitchen and join us every weekend and watching the craziness that happens here. He's probably editing maps though in the background.
No, it took me a few seconds to realize I had to shut down the YouTube because I was hearing everything twice with 1 second delay in between. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those joining us in the from the live stream, you may want to switch off your live stream or mute it at least because it's going to get really confusing. But the link is in the live chat if you want to join us in the finale of Local Guides Kitchen. And obviously you can turn on your video as well so we can see you. It's a very quiet party, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Falguni joined, and we have Jan. Hello, Jan.
Hi, Denise. Okay.
Wait, I can't find my cloth. We got Raju joining in. Hey, Raju. And Falguni's got her video on.
We got to dance our own little
Okay.
silent song.
So just a quick question then on this is general. Hi, Raju.
You're muted, Raju.
Hi,
Hi, where are you from?
India, Gujarat.
Gujarat. Ah, welcome. Hi, Feliciana.
Hi. I bring a cute snack together with me.
Wait, some folks can't see the link, strangely enough.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hi there.
Feliciana.
I think it's a little bit delay, right?
It is, yes. There's a slight delay. So
From the Google Meet with the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're joining us from the live stream, you want to mute your live stream, otherwise it gets really confusing.
Yes.
So whilst you're waiting,
Hi,
just a quick chat. I just want to find out from all of you, what did you think of Denise's grandmother's macaroni and cheese dish that we have today for the final show?
With that number of ingredients, it sounds manageable. Yeah. So some of the recipes in previous episodes were and this and this and this and oh my, four I could handle. Yes, 4 I could handle.
So do you cook a lot at home, Jan, or do you not?
I add heat to ingredients. I don't call it cooking. So
just in the oven or the microwave and
no. I try to make some stuff, but usually it's well, just add some spices or add some sauce which already has spices in it for taste. So I'm not the chef that you are.
Yep. Oh, we have tons of people
like
coming
a
right now.
one bowl recipe.
Well, it's interesting in my new life in the RV, we don't have an oven. So all of the recipes that I learned growing up and I did over the last years, I have to now learn to do either in a microwave or I have a tiny little air fryer. So I actually purchased a great big pie dish that's really deep that I can now make my macaroni and cheese in.
Dennis, could you show us your air fryer? Because that kind of air fryer is very popular nowadays.
Yes, and so I love our air fryer, and it's actually been quite a learning process to actually learn to cook with the air fryer. I find that we use it most of the time for reheating leftover food or things from restaurants. Like it's great for old French fries, right? but no. So the biggest problem I have with the air fryer is what fits in it from a pan, because I'm now using that as my full-time oven.
I've never used an air fryer before. Well, I don't have one to use, so.
Yeah, they're fabulous because they can cook quick.
And they use less oil as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm still learning to do that, to use the air fryer. It's like learning from scratch again.
Okay, Adam is having trouble getting into. Adam, if you can hear me, go to meet.google.com, enter the code UFTHGCRJAX. The link is in the chat. So I don't know whether you can see my chat because I know there's a slight delay, but you should be able to see me putting into the golocopodcast chat there. There it is.
I just
there.
posted, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, anyway, for tuning in to the final episode of Local Guides Kitchen. It is bang on 3 o'clock at the moment, so I know that Hermes and his team are starting with their presentation of Accessible Live. So if you do want to join that, I don't mind at all. But if you could stay on just for a few more minutes, and then we'll just have a quick chat, And I'm super glad to have you all here, and I hope you enjoyed Local Guides Kitchen. I've got an amazing dish, and I got another one waiting for me in the oven. So, without sounding too weird, which of the episodes did you enjoy the most in terms of the dish that you think you want to try at home?
I'm actually going to try the flautas. I was actually telling Dave about it. I've always wanted to do that. And one of the recommendations after I watched your video on the flautas, we have a large
Hi, Dave.
saucepan. We have a large saucepan that has sides about that tall, and
Right.
that's what we'll cook the flautas in, so we don't have the oil spill.
Right. Okay. So, okay, I thought you're gonna have that deep amount of oil in it. I thought that's a lot of oil.
No, you just have high sides, and that way you don't have the
Not the
oil
splashing.
spill.
Yes. I was watching it back, and I was like, "Crikey, Adrian, get a grip of yourself. It's just like little tiny splashes of oil." It's like- but yeah, I don't like hot stuff and stuff like that. But yeah. Hey, Nyai, look at that. She's doing a video of the video. Thank you so much. If you have any feedback about Local Guides Kitchen or any of the shows or any of the dishes, do say what you want to say right now. You're live on YouTube, so go ahead. It's a very silent crowd.
Adrian, I
Yes.
think you have missed something because you haven't cooked any kind of Malaysian dish, right?
No, I haven't.
You have to.
Satay is probably the closest, but it's also not the same as the Malaysian version of satay. I actually learned a lot through this whole series because I realized that the satay that we have in Malaysia is similar to your satay Padang in Indonesia, if I'm not
Right,
mistaken. Yeah, and I didn't realize that was
right.
how it's called there. But yeah, Malaysian dishes are really difficult, I think. But I really need like Steven to help me out on that because Steven really likes his food and he does cook a lot. So I need to get him for season 2 whenever it happens. I do not know, so we'll see.
Andrian, you should try Punjabi dish also in your season 2.
Yes,
Yes,
he wants to try. He told me that while we were planning for the aloo paratha, he wants to make that
Yes.
Indian curries.
I want to make paneer curry. And also Faguni, what was the dish that Tajal posted? I can't remember the name for it.
That's khandvi. Khandvi.
Kanvi, yeah. Um, I asked Faguni about it actually. I said like I'm really interested in this dish. I need to post a link if I can find it on Connect. Post it in
It's
the
I'll
very
description.
I'll try
difficult.
to get you. I'll try to get you an easy recipe for that. Don't worry.
Yes,
But
it turns out it's not
Khandvi is
easy.
very difficult. Very difficult. You need to practice a lot to make Khandvi.
Yeah, so I decided maybe
Yeah.
not this time, not this time.
No, Punjabi dish like chicken and all now, you can make it. It's very easy. Chicken and all. You can make it. It's very easy and tasty. And paneer dishes also. I want you to make it. Try my kheer. The kheer which I made from milk, it's very
Yes.
simple. But it takes time. You have to cook in a slow gas. So
All right.
try
Okay.
that. Check my recipe and try that. You will love it.
One of the things that I'm always interested in terms of Indian dishes is because there's a high percentage of vegetarians. I've always wanted to do a vegetarian dish because it's not something that I actually cook a lot, and I don't have a lot of exposure in vegetarian dishes. And I know that there's people in the live chat, like Irina and Faz, who enjoy the vegetarian dishes, and they want to see more of those as well. So this is something that I wanted to give a try. Just never got a chance to, but really, really interested in the paneer curry.
No, and this vegetarian I had made this chickpeas. That dish you can try in vegetarian.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
true. I would
Try.
love to. I would love to know how to make a dal. Faguni wrote not she wrote, but she mentioned that one of her favorite dishes is dal fry and rice. And
It's
Yeah,
the
I look.
easiest one. It's the easiest one.
You all say it's
easiest.
easy. You all say it's easy. It's
No,
never
no. I
easy.
see. You made the paratha also so nicely. So just believe it. You'll make it.
But I'm
And
just
in paratha also now there is so many paratha, paneer paratha, cauliflower paratha, radish paratha. You can make it.
oh
Ingredients are almost same. I will post one on this paratha. I will post one. There are many parathas where the ingredients are same. All the masalas are same. Only paneer is different. Cauliflower is different. Aloo you made. So you can make varieties of parathas.
yeah, fantastic. And I have to mention
Yeah.
that a big thanks to Iwade as well for coming and joining us. I know she's
Yes.
always like very, I don't know whether shy is the right word, but you're always so shy about joining in the name the dish challenge. And I know that some people are just not exposed to variety of dishes from different parts of the world.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
it's great to see you there and joining in and guessing the dishes. Don't worry about not knowing what the dishes are called. It is all about learning. So I learned so much from the Local Guides Kitchen, and I hope that all of you also learned something from the Name the Dish challenge or from the shows here.
Interesting. I have said it so many times. I eat food to survive. So as in, I don't love food. So like, I don't know so much about food, and I don't have such a wide range of food I eat. I
Mhm.
have other love. Paguni is the foodie one, and she will do every food challenge for both of us.
That's true. That is so true. Okay, see you, Jan, if you're switching over to Ermes's presentation. And again, I think could you, Jan, could you post a link in the Google chat as well? Or I know you posted it in the live chat.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah. For those who want to join the accessible live presentation that Hermes is running right now, you can go and jump over to there. I'm just going to wind things down here as well. So
Okay.
I'm going to put this away because I've got confetti. I made some homemade confetti and I like to throw it around. So, like that.
Adrian,
Like that. So
Adrian, you promised us a party. You promised us a party.
there is. This is the party, the mini party.
Excuse me. How is there a party without music?
There's confetti. You know. Here, I throw one for you, Iwade.
I want a party. I want music.
There's no music here because it's YouTube. You have like those legal copyright thingy majigs that they do with the music if you have anything in the background.
Okay, so sing.
I
I do it in my head. All the music is in my head.
exactly. I listen to Denise as well. We have the same
Denise,
music.
you were a very fantastic host.
Thank you so much, everybody. I still have a lot of confetti to go through, but a big, huge thank you to Denise for joining us for the very final live stream. Your grandmother's dish, macaroni cheese, is fantastic.
Denise is dancing.
When it's properly made, it is fantastic.
We wish we could
Way.
taste it live.
I
The
know
dish.
if you can eat eggs and you can eat cheese, do give it a try. Or you can try to maybe find a dish, a variant that is suitable for your dietary requirements. But again, thank you so much for joining in to Local Guides Kitchen. I still have lots of confetti to go. And
Adrian
again, do
always dances without music after the end of the episode.
join us also on localguidesconnect.com. That is the community where local guides from all around the world, this whole local guides family here, we go and spend our time there. We post stuff there. We talk about our lives, our experiences. You can talk about photography. You can talk about food and drinks. You can do local stories, achievements, and all that stuff. So do join us there. You can find us at localguidesconnect.com. If you want to know more about the fantastic Local Guides program, where you have this fantastic family here, including Iwade, who's not happy that there's no music. She's saying like, I want music. This is not a party. Where's the music? You can find us, you can go to g.co/local guides to find out more about the program and also sign up. If you love to use Google Maps, reviewing and finding out places and publishing lists and all that stuff, it's a fantastic program for all of you. I'm so excited. This is the final episode. Thank you for joining in. I'm sorry there's no music, but this is a lot of confetti.
Thank you.
And
If we would have known before, we would have called DJ One, a DJ from Nigeria. Missing him.
Wait, Iwade, I thought you're in the choir. You're in the choir, right?
No, I am not in the. I'm not in the choir, but I sing. I'm a lector. I read in the church.
Oh, right, okay. But you can't sing. You just said it.
Yeah. You can Google what lector is after the meet.
No, but you can sing for us now.
I sing. Hey, what do you want me to sing? You're putting me on the spot, right?
Yeah, someone wanted music.
What do you want me to sing? What do you want me to sing? What do you want me to sing? I'll take a challenge. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. I'll sing for you. You have to stop it, please. Not today.
Okay, thank you all so much for joining in. I'm sorry if the party is not that grand, but I'm so happy to have all of you here. Show your faces as well, your support for Local Guides Kitchen and all the fun things that local guides do all around the world. Again, thank you so much, and thank you to Denise. And it's a final farewell to all of you. We can party and dance because I'm going to put the music in the background at some point when I do the edits. And more confetti.
Thank you so much. So much.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And again, I need to figure out how to do the answering. See you all and have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you. And you too. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Adrian.
Bye.
Denise. Bye.
Bye.